Good morning, everyone. It is still morning here. It's 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Time for us to get into this 1950D roll. Figure out what I'm doing here with my computer. It's acting up a little bit. Had YouTube acting up on me just a few minutes ago. Was telling me that it couldn't do live streaming. I said, no, you're going to do live streaming. And sure enough, I think it worked. Somebody needs to say something to me to let me know it did work. Here's our... Oh, we got no light at all. There we go. Here's our roll for today, for this morning anyway. It's a 1950D, and it's National Bank and Trust Company of Chicago. National Bank and Trust Company of Chicago. Is anybody out there? Looks like we've got two people watching right now. So I'll go ahead and get started. I need to turn my light down so I can see my numbers here. All right. Got to be able to see this stuff to be able to do my JOB. Right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start prying this roll open. Get started on it. We're right on the hour right now. Hello, Bill. Good morning to you. And to everyone else out there who might be watching. We've got seven people watching now. Coins and cornflakes. There we go. Good morning, CMOS Omaha. I've been meaning to contact you back about those rolls. I will get you a list of rolls that I can provide to you that would interest you. Not everything I have is bank wrapped, but I find that a lot of the tube rolls that I have just as much as any of the bank wrapped rolls would. All right, folks. Here's our 1950 D roll. Well, it looks nice and clean. Yeah, it's a nice roll. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Coin number 1, John Brandon Bow. JB Bow. Let's see what we have here. Looks like we're cutting out of nothing for the first one. Yeah, so if you're okay with tubed rolls, I probably have a whole lot more in tubed rolls that you would be interested in. Well, it looks like we found nothing on the first coin in the roll, but got a lot more coins left to go, that's for sure. So that's coin number 1. Just for you people who began watching me later on, might wonder why it is that I don't wear gloves while I'm going through these rolls. Well, my sense of tactile feeling is something that is very sensitive for me. And I do a much better job by cleaning my hands totally dry of any oils, by washing them like a surgeon before I start these reveals. So I wash my hands and they are totally dry during these reveals. And I have never left a fingerprint on a coin after doing that. I'm also careful about how I handle the coins, so the coins don't become damaged in any form or fashion. So just in case you're wondering, I am very aware that I'm touching raw BU red coins, and I'm taking proper precaution in handling them with expert care. So there you go. It is what it is. You found DR1, 2, 4, and 6, and 3 times DO number 1. Let's see, let me think about that. What is DO number 1? I can't remember. You found all that in one roll? Or 7 rolls? Wow. Not bad at all. I got a whole bunch of rolls of those that I can pass your way. I ended up with a bag of 1960 Philadelphia cents that are loaded full of DR1 and DR6, I believe it is. Loaded to the gills. Farm Dog. Farm Dog's up next. Gosh, I'm looking for just one die variety here. Come on. Give us some hope. All we need is hope. Run ourselves into a nothing roll. 1DR6 is one of the very strong ones. It's a very nice one. I happen to have about a roll of them. Yes, bag of 1960 Philadelphia that I have has 1DR1, 1DR6, and a whole bunch of toned coins. Those are bag toned coins. They sat in the bag for a long time. Quads is next. And darn it, I was hoping quads could change our luck a little bit. Okay, we know this die now because we have a heavy die scratch coming up out of the 9 of the date, headed straight toward the nose. But we've got no RPM. We've got no double die obverse. Um, 1DO001. Is that one that has the doubling on the outside edge of the 6 and the 0? Like a class 2 doubling? I'm trying to remember which one that was. Because there is a die for 1960 Philadelphia. It's a very nice one. I really like it a lot. And I think it's Kaneka die number 8, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember, but it's a nice double die obverse that shows on at least in God, and it shows, hey, looky there we got a nice RPM. Sweet. That's one of those double split serif RPMs. This thing's really cool. Let me zoom into it. Shabam. Let's get us some light. And he said, let there be light. And there was. See here, let me get this cranked around the right direction so we can see the splits in the serifs. Okay, so we have a tilted RPM here. You can tell the very top serif is underneath, and the higher of the bottom serifs is on top. So you got underneath to on top, and then you've got the let's see, which one of those is on top? Okay, then you've got the lower of the two upper serifs. The top serif, the lower one of those, belongs to the one that's just barely sticking out of the bottom of the mint mark. So you've got mint marks that are overlapping and cocked slightly, rotated slightly, but that they're overlapping, you can't call one a primary and one a secondary. So this is a tilted RPM. Very nice. This one goes to Mr. Cusson. Very nice, sir. Nifty little pull. I like that. Because I thought there for a second we're going to have a doubled eyelid too, but we don't. No doubling on the obverse. Nothing on the reverse. So good. We got die number 1 for the day. We got ourselves a nice double split serif RPM. That's a nice tilted RPM. Now on to coin number 7. Coin number 7 goes to Eric Beyer. And what do we have for Eric Beyer? These coins are extremely shiny. They're that's why we're having trouble with the lighting here. Is because the coins are just so shiny. They want to reflect everything. Good morning, Bulldog. If I turn the light down low enough that we don't get flashy reflection, then you won't be able to see the details on the coin. Not really a whole lot that I can do about the coins. Perhaps I could have some sort of a filter over it, but I don't know yet what that would be. All right, coin number 8 now. Coin number 8 will go to Jeff Dunn. Jeff Dunn. What do we have here? It looks like nothing. Even if I try to make something out of it, there's just nothing there. And got nothing else on the obverse. So let's flip it over, take a look at the reverse, and see what happened there. And a little bit of a stain on America. Kind of like what our current societal issues. Kind of a stain on America. All right, coin number 9. Coin number 9 will go to Dennis Paulson. Come on, more RPMs, folks. What are we doing here? Let's get some RPMs out of this. Don't like going through rolls all day and not finding anything. That's die wear under the L. And let's see what else we have. Looks like nothing on the reverse, which wouldn't surprise me. There's not any double dies known for the reverse on 1950D. 1950D, you're mainly looking for a couple of double die obverses and a bunch of repunchment marks, and that's about it. All right, coin number 10. Coin number 10 will go to here. Crappie Tim. This will be Crappie Tim's first, very first ever coin with us. I hope it treats him right. Sorry about that. I had a little yawn. Just not making anything out here. I'll take a look at the reverse and see what we have on the reverse. As we traverse the reverse, we are finding nothing. Unfortunately, nothing. All right, so that one is in and out. Crappie Tim got himself a nice uncirculated coin, that's for sure. Coin number 11 now to Bulldog. Bulldog gets coin number 11. And what do we have? Not seeing anything over there. Looks like we've got a little doubled eyelid going on here. I'm going to pull this out as a die 2. Call it a doubled eyelid. I'll have to check in on it later. It does appear to be a doubled eyelid by what I can see here. So I flip it over and take a look and see if we have any doubling on the reverse or anything worth mentioning. Let me go back to the obverse and take a look for one more thing. Okay. So we got Bulldog. We have a doubled eyelid. Very minor one. Not sure it'll be a listable one, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Why not? Number 13, Dennis Paulson. Lucky coin 13. And is it a lucky coin? Well, we have nothing on the mint mark. No doubling on the obverse. Let's take a look at the other side, see if we have anything here. No, unfortunately not. So Dennis is going to get our next normal 1950 D Lincoln cent here. And on to coin number 13. Coin number 13 goes to Adam Connor. Hey, looky, there it is. Lucky coin number 13. And we got ourselves another one of the die number 1 for the roll. We need a good marker to remember these. Be sure we're not repeating up on anything. What do we have here? They're rather difficult to find a marker. I see the swirly die scratches underneath the bust, but those things can disappear. So I want to make sure that I've got something that's not going to try to disappear on me. But I don't see anything for a good useful marker yet. Looking around the rim to see if I see any rim gouges. I don't see anything. Fingers crossed for a gouge between the N and T of cent. Well, we can look for that. No? There's a scratch there. I don't really see a gouge though. Yeah, frowny face from Jess. It evidently isn't the one that she thought it might be. I'm not seeing any markers at all. But this one goes to Adam Connor. I gotta move, or Adam Chambers, I'm sorry. Adam Chambers. I've got to move some of these back over. Too stuffed up for me. So that's another die number 1. Let's take a look at coin number 14 now. Coin number 14 will go to Deanne. Nothing on coin 14's obverse. Let's take a look at the reverse. Nothing on the reverse. And that's number 14. Let's take a look at number 15. Hope it starts going a little bit better for us. This is John Brandon Bow. And John Brandon Bow. Seeing what's on top of the eye here. Okay, it's nothing. Okay, got nothing on the obverse here. Let's take a look at the reverse and see if anything happened there. NASA. Coin number 16. Coin number 16 goes to Don Harmon. And got nothing there. Wait a minute, let me check that bottom again. Okay, for some reason I thought I saw lamination peel, but it's not. False alarm. All right, coin number 17. Coin number 17 goes to Jeff Dunn. What is that? Oh, that's a hair or something laying on the coin. It's a piece of fiber, I think. Yeah. Just a piece of fiber. I was like, what? Never heard of a die crack that strong. Right in the date area. But that's why. Because it's not one. Looks like coin number 17 turns out to be completely normal. Now number 18, Bill Betts. Number 18. It's a good jersey number for the NFL because it's usually quarterback. Just saying. Just saying. Didn't we have something in a roll that had... Okay, that's a hit. Never mind, sorry. My brain is playing games on me today. Tell it to stop. Mommy, tell it to stop. Oh, what was I talking about? I'm sorry. Oh, I get it. The RPM that she was trying to look up. I get a little discombobulated in the chat because people are responding to each other, and, well, my oddly self-centered self thinks that you guys are always talking to me. I guess that's just a little bit of nerve that goes along with broadcasting, is that you want to make sure that you cover everyone, that you make sure that you've got everything everyone needs. Don't make anyone feel left out. So I try to accommodate everything I possibly can during my broadcast, and sometimes I work a little too hard at it. I try reading people's minds. It doesn't work when you're not broadcasting. It certainly doesn't work when you are. All right, number 20 to Paul Hampton. We need another RPM here, folks. Time to get another RPM. Nothing. Nada, zilch, goose egg, zero, nunca. Not gonna happen. Not this time around. Maybe next time. We can always think about that and pull the next coin. See who it's going to go to. Their Paul Hampton coin. Now, Adam Chambers. It'll be coin number 21. There we go. There's an RPM for you. Oh, we did. We've looked this up before. That has that hook on the bottom. I'm pretty sure this is RPM 4. I don't know. Let's see what you said. No, that's not the one. I think it is. Yeah, it is. It's this one. It's going to be RPM 4. Well, this is the same as the one we already looked at today. I'm pretty sure, isn't it? Or is this different? Is this a different die? No, is this a different die from the one that I already saw? My head's playing games with me. Let me take a look at one of these other coins here real quick, because I think we need to clarify this issue. Okay, well, this is definitely not number 4. Definitely not number 4. So you're right. We have a die 3 now, which is going to be actually RPM number 4. That's what this is. definitely RPM number 4, definitely going to Adam Chambers. So that's what we have there. We know we're not going to have a double die on this one because RPM 4 does not have a double die paired with or associated with it. Paired with being the reverse, associated with being the obverse. But we do have a very nice roll going here. We've got 3 different dies now. Up to coin number 21. Now we're coin number 22. Coin number 22 will go to Jim Fletcher. Jim, got you another RPM number 4. There we go. So let's search for anything right or wrong about the coin. We need to look at the whole thing, just to be sure. All right. There we have another RPM number 4. Moving along a little bit faster now, because we're actually finding RPMs that we can live with. Now what do we have here? Well, it's a nothing. Oh, this might be, yep, it's the eyelid. It's the eyelid. So, okay, we've got die scratches south from between the LI of Liberty. Let's remember that. There's my swirly die scratches. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same die. So let's take a look over here real quick again. We've got north and south die scratches, especially a stronger one between the LI. So this is our LI coin. Our LI coin is a doubled eyelid, a minor doubled eyelid. So let me get that one stuck inside its holder. And then we will look at the other coin that was a minor doubled eyelid to see if we have that same marker. My suspicion says yes. And intuition is correct. We do have the same die marker. Given that we have the same die marker, we have a second copy of die number 2 for the roll. If I had an applause button right now is when I'd hit it. I'd do that canned applause that they have in the TV shows. Yay. Whose was number 23? 23 belonged. Did I not pull it around? I'm sorry. Sureg. Sureg got number 23. Wow. Number 24, Adam Connor. Adam Connor gets an RPM. This is one of the number 4s. I do believe, yeah, it is a number 4. Has a spot. It's actually not really a spot. That's more of a, just a stain, really, on the lower part of the jacket, coat, whatever you want to call it. Right on the lapel. So let's see what else we have here. Hey, look at that. Grease-filled die. The P is completely missing. P in pluribus is completely missing. That's kind of cool. Looking for a dropped letter now. Should be looking for a dropped letter throughout this roll because that is probably a pickup on a dropped letter. That is kind of neat to look at because when I look at it like this, it does actually look like Eluribus. This was a die number 4, correct? I think it was. Yes. Die number 4, which is going to be, we'll just call it die number 4. If I find something else, I'll stick it in between. That way die number 4 can be RPM number 4. Little ways I work things. Make everything difficult on myself. Almost as if on purpose, but actually I'm just a kind of a slow learner. I guess that's what you might call me. Slow learner. So I had a question pop up on Facebook from a Facebook friend. What is something you got in trouble for in school? And it brought back a specific time when I was in the 7th grade. I took band. And the band instructor was a professional trumpet player. And he would have been a good instructor. But there's a little struck through. It looks like a struck through fiber or something to that effect right there on the reverse. But the bad part is that I went to a school that wasn't one of the better schools in town. And he had trouble with being able to control less than good students. And so we had problems with people actually shutting the lights out for some reason during class and causing chaos in the classroom. It was a lack of control thing with him. I don't know what caused it or why, or I know who did it, but there was one of those times the lights went out in the band room, and the teacher, Mr. Ensley, got hit in the head with a social studies book. And, of course, it kind of injured him a little bit, but not real bad, but somebody had to go down for that. And for some reason, I had people in the classroom saying that I had that book in my hand right before the lights went out. That nobody saw me throw it, but they said I did. And lo and behold, hey, there's another RPM. This is die 1 again. This one's going to be die 1 again. Let's see, did we find any markers on this at all that we can use? Looks like there's a little die hit right above the 1. We'll check that next time we see a different one. This is going to be the same. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same die as die number 1. I'm going to check for that little mark above the 1 of the date on a coin that I have already attributed as die number 1. And it's not there. Well, let's look on here. Okay, so we have die damage to the left of the D over the vest. So let's see if this has that. No, it doesn't. Well, it does. Not very well, but it's there. Let's see. If I find something I can be pretty sure is a marker. Might even have to be a really minor marker. This could be number 17. There we go. There's a good marker. There's a die scratch running north from the rim below the Eye of Liberty. Okay, so now let's check for that on this coin. Sure enough, it's there. It's a die scratch running from the rim toward the north underneath the Eye of Liberty. So this is going to be another example of die 1 for the roll. Let's flip it over and take a look at the reverse and see if anything happened there for us to talk about. See, sometimes it just takes a little sleuthing to get through this stuff. And I know for years and years I go through roll after roll after roll and I just pull out RPMs or double dies and stick them in holders or tubes, flips, whatever, to get them out of the way. Wouldn't bother identifying most of them. And soon enough, I had boxes and boxes of RPMs, double dies, and all sorts of stuff that had no identification on them. And now we've got Miss Jessica working on that. Where are we? Oh, here we are. What do we have here? This one's from Mike Birchman. It looks like we have a normal mint mark, normal date, normal eye. So the end story to this thing about getting in trouble in school, when the lights came back on, I was sitting at my desk I was just kind of like, I don't know what's going on. I don't really care. But oddly enough, I looked down. My book is gone. Someone took it off my desk and threw it and struck the teacher in the back of the head with it. Guess who got in trouble for that? That was my book. People said they saw me with it before the lights went out. Of course they did. It's my book. That's why they saw me with my book. But I didn't throw it. It was sitting on my desk when the lights went out, and I sat there and didn't move. So lights came back on. Investigation started. Principal came down to the room. It was basically pointed out that I did it. So I went to the principal's office. And they interrogated me like a police interrogation because, well, this was going to end up being a prosecutable thing. I'm sorry, this one went to Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton had this one. It's a normal coin. It has a very small bit of toning on the reverse. But it's a very beautiful coin. It is a normal 1950D Lincoln cent, though. So the police came. And I was interrogated by the principal, the assistant principal, and the police. And of course, in order for them to... Oh, man, we got some stains on this one. Well, that's the reverse side, and I haven't flipped a name. I'm getting too involved in my story. They're Mr. Marshall. Okay. Well, now let's turn it over and see if we have an RPM. And we do not. So they interrogated me, and when the police got there, the police asked if my parents had been notified. Of course not. They called my dad at work, which is never a good thing. And he took off work, actually, to come down and pick me up from school because I had been suspended from school pending investigation. Well, I don't know how they were going to investigate something because that was my book. It was obviously my book. It had my name in it. It had my fingerprints all over it. My fingerprints being on my book doesn't mean anything. So basically, it just turned into a he said, she said testimony type thing. Yep. My dad took me aside, and he said, "Boy, did you do this?" I said, "No, Dad, I didn't." He said, "All right, that's all I need to hear." He went to bat for me. And basically, he told the people at the school that if they can't prove it, ick. Got stains on this one too. Stains and spots. Not good. Not good at all. This one is a refundable. This one is a refundable to Eric Beyer. Eric, if you're watching, you'll get this one credited to you if you remind me about it. I can't sell a coin like this. It's just ugly. And nothing on it either. But this one's going to be sent to you, of course, but you're also going to be credited for it. So they went to suspend me, and my dad said, "Well, you guys need to prove this. And if we need to go to court, we will." Turned out Michael Cozart was the one who threw the book. It was my book, but it was thrown by Michael Cozart. He never got in trouble for it. Never got suspended or any of that stuff. That is not a bar L. That is dieware. And I got to go back to school. That was the worst academic year of my life. The 7th grade, actually, and then the 8th grade was really bad for me, too. After the 8th grade, I kind of picked everything up and got going. I did relatively well through my senior year and graduated high school just fine. It's going to be another die 1, I do believe it is. Another die 1 for the roll. Let me flip it over, take a look at the other side. Make sure nothing catastrophic happened over here that we need to be discussing. That's a piece of the waxy stuff that comes off the machine, I guess. Onto the coins while it's wrapping the coins. So, die 1. Oh, this one goes to Mr. Marshall. I'm sorry. This one goes to Mr. Marshall. It's a die number 1 for the day. So, there we go, Mr. Marshall. Coin number 34 go to Jim Fletcher. Jim Fletcher. Looks like we have no RPM. We've got no double die lid. The one before that, 32, was for Sureg. Sorry. So we got 31 was Eric Beyer, 32 was Sureg, and 33 was Mr. Marshall. Yeah, it is definitely a learning curve on the flip. I've been doing this for a while now, and just changed my own little rule, and I'm having trouble conforming. But that's not because I'm a rebel. It's because I'm pretty much inept. I just don't think about it. I don't know why. Yo man gets the next one. And what is this? That looks like a nothing around the mint mark and date area. We do have a little double die lid though. This is one of those little minor double die lids, so we're going to pull it out. And it's going to go in the pile with the other minor double die lids. Die number 2. I need to find myself a marker near the date for this. It's a little swirly die scratches, but those little swirly die scratches are on a lot of different dies. Other than the eyelid itself, we're not really finding much of anything. Yeah, there are some die scratches running kind of north into the 0 of the date. Then there's a heavier one down southeast of the D pointing straight north. So maybe we can use that. Call it what it is, right? Bulldog says it's age. It isn't age. It's poor diet, no exercise, and too much stress. That's all it is. I could pay $75 to have a doctor tell me that, but I'd rather just figure it out on my own. Coin number 36. Deanne. Very interesting looking coin here. So it looks like it has, oh, it's a glop of stuff. That's not part of the coin at all. Oh, stuff sitting on top of the coin. There's stuff sitting on a lot of these coins. Coins are actually very well plated with whatever wax there is. That stuff comes right off with xylene. No worries, straight off the coin. Just a little dabble, do you? Alright, Don's going to get the next coin. I'm going to go ahead and flip the next one over as soon as I pick that one up. That way I've already got one flipped over, and you guys can take your time taking notes or doing whatever you do when I flip over a insert to show you who gets what. Well, there was nothing there. Nothing on the reverse here either. That's right. That is something I need to talk about. Thanks, Jess, for the reminder. We're going to be doing an auction Tuesday. It's going to be a little bit earlier than normal. It's going to be the last auction I'm going to do this month. So I'm going to be moving. I'm going to be packing, going to be getting everything together and getting everything done and getting everything ready. And I'm not going to run another auction this month. So what that is going to mean is that we're going to hold a larger auction that will be a little bit earlier in the day on Tuesday. It's going to be on at 6 p.m. Starting at 6 p.m. It'll probably run until 9 or 10 p.m. It's another one of the little doubled eyelids. And this auction will be another box lot auction. I decided because of the coin shortage and because people can't get to their banks to get coins, that I would try to be the bank and provide some coins to them. So you're very welcome. I'm going to do everything I can to provide up to about 1,000 rolls. It's going to be at 6 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Now here's the other little caveat. I also have 12 reveals that I've pulled together for this week. There's another RPM number 4. Nice looking one too. The photographs that I did of these I took rather recently, so it probably came out of another 1950D roll that was probably the same source as this one. So RPM 4 has been listed and has been rephotographed and looks very much like the photographs here. But the caveat that I've got to this week's auction is that we are going to be doing these 12 reveals. We're going to be selling them throughout the show, including right up at the beginning of the show. So if you're used to showing up near the end of the show to bid on reveal spots or to try to get your reveal spots, don't do that this time. Show up early and stick around, because we're going to have 12 reveals and I'm not going to do them all at the same time. The doubled eyelid could be 1DO002. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Coin number 40 now. Bulldog. What we get? We got another number 4. Another RPM number 4. For Bulldog, we're turning out a pretty good roll here. It's a little bit dark. Let me bring it up just a little bit. I was getting too much glare on a couple of those coins because they're so brightly uncirculated. And then I just keep moving along and noticed that the screen's being blocked out basically by the light. So I had to turn the light back down a little bit. Alright, so that's going to be a die number 3 coin. It's actually going to be RPM number 4, but that gets a little confusing when you know what the RPM number is while you're still stacking coins out of a roll. Well, it's not confusing to me, but it could be confusing to you. I don't like confusion. Any way you go about it. There's another doubled eyelid. Little minor doubled eyelid there for you. Let's see if I have any better markers than swirly die scratches at the bottom of the design. I may have something here. I don't really see anything though. Just pretty much marker free. Oh, we have a long die scratch to the east of the T in Trust. That's about the best I can do for you regarding markers on that side. Let's see if we have anything on this side that might help out a little bit. There you go. Die scratches from the inside of the left wheat through the bottom of the U, touching the top of the O in of. Look at the 5. What would I be looking for on the 5? Got a die scratch popping out of the bottom of the 5, and that's about it. This is 1DO002. Okay. Awesome. Happens to be die 2 for this roll as well. Not what? Bill? I'd probably use that little die dot over to the left of the bottom of the D as my indicator. That and the fact that I've got die scratches running northwest up from the rim to the bottom of the 5 and to the top of the 5. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of assume this is going to be double die obverse number 2, but it's 1DO whatever die number 2 for this roll. So there you go. Coin number 42. And coin number 42 comes out as, well, a nothing. Nope, it's another double eyelid. There it is right there. And perhaps 1DO002. There's my marker for that. I forgot about that little guy. Little die scratch running north and south between the L and the I of Liberty. Let me put this in its place and we'll move on to coin number 43. And coin number 43 is, nothing outside the norm, I don't think. Nope, this one's a normal one. That's coin number 43. In and out. Coin number 44 now. 44 goes to, I'm sorry, coin number 43. I'm not sure I flipped it, so we're going to flip it now. Coin number 43 was Bulldog. Coin number 44 is Adam Connor, and this one is a die number 1 for the roll. There we go. There's our die gouge. Or die number 1 for the roll. This is Adam Connor. It's got a bunch of that plasticky stuff or wax or whatever it is on there. So die number 1 for the roll. So we're going to flip this one over and take a quick look at the reverse and see if there's anything on the reverse that we need to be talking about. Don't see it. By the end of the academic year in my 8th grade year, that incident had been forgotten about completely by pretty much everyone except me. It was actually quite traumatic to be in an experience where there were a large number of adults, and here I was, this 7th grade kid, but there were a number of adults accusing me of doing something I simply did not do. And it was all the way down to a point where I remember the assistant principal saying, "You did throw that book. You did. You did throw that book." No, sir, I did not. I did not throw that book. It had nothing to do with that. As it turned out, there was just absolutely no proof that I did it. So that little incident went by the wayside eventually. Should be another die 1 for the roll. See, there we go. There's our die scratch below the I at the rim. Good here. And let me move on. It's coin number 46. Now for coin number 47. I'm sorry, did I not show you who that was either? Mike Birchman. Mike Birchman gets a die number 1 for the roll. Coin number 46. And coin number 47. Coin number 47. Coin number 47 goes to Joe McBride. And Joe McBride turns up. Appears to be a normal coin so far. It's not a doubled eyelid. A tiny bit rough on the reverse. Just a little bit. Well, how you doing, JLB? Haven't seen you in a while. Coin number 48 now goes to Yo Man. Coin number 48 to Yo Man. We got ourselves another normal coin here close to the end of the roll. We got 2 coins remaining after this guy right here. Take a look at the reverse real quick and see if we have anything going on with the reverse. And it doesn't appear so. So this one's going to go back to Yo Man. Coin number 49. Joe McBride again. Here's Joe McBride again. Joe, you want me to clean the icky off of this one? That's a die number 1. So you're not going to have the lower curl. But if you want me to clean the ick off of this one, I'll get it off of there for you. You got some on the cheek, some up here on the ear. Okay, I'll take care of it for you, buddy. Let's get this grime off of here. Once again, show everyone the efficacy of xylene. America's #1 red coin cleaner, xylene. This has been known to cause cancer in laboratory rats and adult dogs. There we go. All good, bruh. Now we have ourselves a die number 1 that is not impeded by crap on the coin. Good afternoon, hidden numismatist. You finally received yours. Is that your xylene? Don't put that stuff on or near plastic. Good tip for you. No plastic. All right, last coin in the roll. Last coin in the roll goes to Mr. Marshall. This is a side that was facing out. I probably could have looked at this coin and told you there was an RPM right on the end of the roll, because this is an RPM number 4 sitting right on the end of the roll. While I've got my xylene, I may as well throw a little coat on this. Take all this dust and dirt off real quick. There we go. Now you can see it. It's RPM number 4. Bunch of the grime and crap off the coin now, so you can actually look at it. Let's take a reverse shot. This was the side that was facing inward toward the roll, so it's in much better condition than the obverse is, but this is a nice early listed repunch mint mark to end our roll. So here's what I have right now, and I'm going to have to look a little bit harder for any more of these doubled eyelids, because there is some chance I could have missed a few of them. But we have a pretty decent share of normal coins. Let's get the light over here so we can see a little bit better. And then for die number 1 in the roll, I've got coins numbered 49, 46, 44, 33, 27, 13, and 6. That's going to be Bill, Adam, Tim, Marshall, Adam Connor, Mike Birchman, and Joe McBride. I believe that's 7 coins, is it not? Yes, sir. 7 coins. That's die number 1 on the roll. Die number 2 is our minor doubled eyelid. We've got numbers 42, 41, 38, 36, 23, and 11. That's 6 coins altogether. We're going to go to Bulldog, Sureg, Deanne, Eric, Yoman, and Bill. So Bill got himself die 1. He got himself a die 2. Did he get himself a die 3 to finish off the hat trick? Adam, Jim, Adam Chambers, Adam Connor, and then Adam Chambers again, Bulldog and Marshall. So Bill did not get one of those, but here's the numbers on the coins on that. It's number 50, number 40, number 39, 24, 22, and 21. What's for lunch? I think we're going to do spicy chicken cold cuts with pepper jack cheese and mustard, with a little bag of sea salt chips. Bill, I don't... Oh, did you only get 2 coins? Is that what you're saying? You only bought 2? Okay, well, then both of your coins are good ones. Yeah, I don't see a 3rd coin in here for you. So you must be telling me that you only bought 2 coins. Okay. Well, you only bought 2 coins, and both your coins came out to be die varieties, so that was cool. That was awesome. One-word answers don't help, Bill. Sorry. I don't know what you're talking about. 39S RPM 2. Is that one of my coins that you just dug up out of the middle of a box that I'd sent to you at one point in time, or no? If it's not mine, I'm really cool with it. I just didn't know one way or the other. You've got a lot of stuff headed towards you, Jess. You got 2 heavy boxes coming today. Then they're probably not coming today. They'll probably get there on Monday because of the holiday. Monday or Tuesday. And then I've got another relatively heavy box with a bunch of rolls coming to you. And then I've got the microscope and the light box coming to you next week. I'm going to get those ready for shipment on Monday. And for everyone else, I have probably 250 coins, 250 to 300 coins to get ready to ship this weekend. So I'm going to get those ready along with getting a box lot sale together so we can do another box lot sale. And for right now, I think I'm going to take off. I'm going to get my daily work done. This will be the first day I've had in, 3 days now that I haven't been doing reveals all day long. So we've got one coming up tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to be opening a 1942D plastic tube. And so I appreciate it for you. I will, I guess I'll see you then. 8 o'clock this evening, Eastern Time. Another reveal, 1942 D-roll. So I'll see you then, folks.